So
definitely helped.
I mean, Nordstrom's got this, I mean, the world famous for the service
Correct.
thing. So did some of that stick?
That is the only thing really
Really?
that my whole business is based off of is service.
Right.
And I always say Nordstrom taught me that. I mean, obviously, naturally, it's ingrained in me in the way I grew up. My family, are veterans and we all served and we're big community activists and that sort of thing. But Nordstrom really taught the basis of the business is service.
Right.
And I feel like I've carried that over into my career.
Any big takeaways? Give me one thing about service that
Client is always right.
Client's always right.
Yeah. You have to convince them that they are right in their thought process, but at the same time, try to move them to where they need to go and have it be their belief that this is the right way to go.
Boy, I never thought of that.
It's a very careful process. You have to listen to the client. You have to hear what they're saying. You've got to understand their goals. Your goals really become my goals when you're my client. But if I see that maybe we're making a decision that isn't the best move for you,
right,
I'm going to obviously advise you and tell you what I think, but I'm also going to give you scenarios of what could happen if we go down the road that you're thinking. And usually they tend to straighten out the thought process and go with what I'm suggesting
right
at that time. So
yeah, I've always thought, one of the things I've always talked about is that you have to decide, what you feel is the best decision for people because they don't have that experience. I mean, you sold hundreds of homes, maybe thousands or something. I don't even know now, but I know you do a lot of business, and at least enough business to be the top 1% of all of Coldwell Banker in the nation. That's pretty good.
Yeah, thank you.
Pretty good. So you have to have an idea of where you want to go, but you need to, in my opinion, that and the way I always thought was that you need to be able to articulate what brought you to that conclusion, so that you can walk them down that same path. And theoretically, you should have more data to build your conclusion on. So, and that was kind of a takeaway from Nordstrom.
Yeah,
interesting.
Listening to what the client wants, listening to what the client needs, what's the goal,
Right.
and ensuring that you understand what it is that they're wanting.
Right.
Because obviously I was being paid to make them look pretty, or, whether it was for a wedding or it was for just every day, I had to understand that. And I also had to look at the person in front of me and basically think, okay, does she really want to be that glam, or does she really want just a little bit more eyeliner?
Right.
And you have to really decipher, because people have different ways of articulating things that they want. If someone tells me, oh, we're going to get made up, I mean, that means 45 products are going on my face. Whereas if you ask, one of my good friends, we're getting made up, that might mean 5 products.
Right.
So you have to really decipher who you're talking to and make sure you understand what their goals are.